Hey everybody, welcome to edition 2 of going over tactics for 11v11. These next 3 videos I'm going to break down into defenders, midfielders, forwards, okay? And we're going to tie all of them in together. So I've got our back 4 here, and I'm going to include my goalkeeper in our back 4, part of the defense. And one of the main things that I really want to focus on is making sure that we are able to position ourselves properly and also make sure that when the ball is in a certain area, we are in position to help each other out. Okay, you've got this shape here. Coach Ali at Soccer USA loves to call this the broken L. And so that is what we're going to work on. Pressure on the ball immediately with the defender. Then you got cover here, and then obviously balance over here on the end. Pressure, cover, balance. Or you can say pressure, cover, balance. You know, whatever you want to say. This is how we want to shape ourselves. Same thing when the ball goes on the opposite side. We press. And always remember, we want to have around 2 players inside of this box area right here. That's how it's supposed to be. Just because of the fact of what happens if, say, one of us messes up and they've got a couple players here and they go in here and attack our goal, we don't have many defenders defending here. So one thing we always want to make sure we do is double up, okay, inside this area. Cover ourselves, make sure that we're being smart. When we are playing out of the back or on a goal kick, it's important that what we talked about. 2 outside defenders are going to be wide. And remember, the center back, one of the center backs is going to be inside of the box, literally inside of the box. All the keeper is going to do is play it a little bit, and then from there we're going to work our way up, whether we want to go here, okay, or we want to go to this other center back who's a little bit deeper. Both center backs are going to be a little bit into the goal. Maybe play it over here. Also, main thing to point in, we're going to throw our 2 center mids in here as well. Our 2 center mids should not be up here. If they've got 2 attacking players here, I want our 2 center mids on our goal side of the defenders. Goal side of the defenders. Why? Because a lot of times what happens is, say we have a miss kick that goes here, okay? Our midfielders are out of position and aren't able to win this ball or challenge for it. If we're able to position ourselves well, even if a mistake happens, still goes to one of our team or one of our players, and then we can be able to find a pass to relieve the pressure or to get out of that situation. But key thing there is just making sure that we focus on having options. You know, this goalkeeper is going to set this ball down anywhere here. It doesn't have to be on one side. Just set it down in the middle of the box and play it out to either one of these defenders, and then we play. The minute we switch that ball over, we are already transitioning. We cannot have a huge gap here. We've got to make sure that we're shifting over and that we've got balance. I'm going to throw in the 2 outside mids here now. Okay, same situation. A lot of times we see this outside mid like over here hanging out. Okay, you've got to get on the inside of the play. And a lot of times, say your defender's here, I want you on the inside of the defender. Okay, not on the outside over here hanging out, because if that ball comes in over here, he's got the first opportunity, or he's got positioning on you to win that ball. So always make sure that you're on the inside of the defender and you're able to compete for the ball. But main thing here is just making sure that we're balanced. Okay, once again, mids, make sure you understand that your positioning is key to be able to make this offense go and help us build out of the back. That outside, if we play the ball to the outside back, he plays it to the outside mid. this is where the spacing has to be. And same thing, mids, you guys have to make sure that you do not have to just go forward. This pass is open, and as this mid is playing into this mid, this outside mid should already look to get wide. Okay, so that way, when the ball is getting played, defenders are shifting over, center mid can take a touch, and then we've broken down their defensive line here, or their pressure high, and we can be able to start attacking up here. Always make sure that you guys are working together. Communication. We talked about it yesterday. Communication is key. These two center backs have to make sure that they are communicating with everybody. I'm depending on everybody on this team to communicate with each other. It doesn't matter what position you are, you have to communicate with each other and help each other out. Passing completion, like we said, don't just play the ball wherever. Don't just play it to players under pressure. Make sure you take your time. Make sure you find the best pass available and make it a good pass straight to their feet, okay? No one is going to play more physical than us, guaranteed. That's another thing we talked about yesterday. Have to make sure that the physical level that we bring to the game is extremely high, okay? Center backs also, let's push these guys out a little bit. Say the ball's coming in here. Say we're higher up the line here. This is the runs that I was talking about yesterday. These are the types of runs that we have to be careful. Say a center forward, red is their team, remember. Center forward is in between the two center defenders. This is a very dangerous position for a center forward to be. Why? Because we're not quite sure which defender has them marked up. Okay, how's that gonna? What's gonna help fix that problem? Talking. This defender tells this defender, "Hey, you know what? You go to the ball. I've got this player here." Okay, or vice versa. Say the defenders call for the center mid to come back and drop and pressure this player, and now both center defenders can kind of just focus on making sure that this guy doesn't get here. This pass right here is one of the worst things that we can let happen, because now he is going in on goal and everybody is chasing back towards our goal to defend. As a defender, one of the hardest things to do is to defend going back towards your own goal. Okay? It's very easy, and that's what we always talk about, keep the ball in front of you. It's a lot easier to keep the ball in front of you and to defend going forward towards their side instead of having to run backwards, okay? Run backwards to try to chase somebody down because you only have a couple of options. You're going to try to cut off his angle, okay? Or you're going to have to foul him, okay? It's going to be a very tough situation. Main thing they always think about, say this has happened several times now. If an outside defender gets beat and the center defender slides over, this outside defender better get his butt back in towards the middle. There's no walking. There's no la. You have to drop straight back into the middle. He is doing your job for you. You have to jump in and do his job and make sure that we have the middle of this field secure. I do not want to see a center defender having to cover for an outside back and the outside back 50 yards up the field because he doesn't want to work hard enough to get back in towards the... This player beat you, one reason or another, okay? This person beat you. You absolutely cannot just sit up here and expect everybody else to do your job for you. You have to drop back. Make sure that you cover for each other. And that goes the same thing for the center backs as well. Don't expect the other center back to just sit there and do your job for you. Yes, we're there to support each other. Yes, we're there to work for each other. But we have to constantly make sure that we are dropping back and making it difficult. Imagine this. If a forward beats this player, okay, he beats this player, he moves past him, and say there's nobody there. Well, how easy is it for that that attacking player to go in on goal. Now imagine this scenario. This forward beats this defender. Problem is, the minute he beats that defender, there's a guy here. Okay? The minute he beats that defender, there's another guy here. And all of a sudden, in the meantime, these two defenders that he beat, because of this guy putting pressure on him, because of these two working back hard to make sure that they're back in on goal, they're back into the play. So now this guy has to beat this guy, and this guy, these two players again to get in on goal. We want to frustrate teams. We don't want to give up easy goals. We want to make sure we drop back on defense and make it difficult for teams to break us down. It's okay to make mistakes. We have to work as hard as possible to make sure we come back and cover. Make that player work that much harder to go in on goal. You guys have to take getting scored on personal, in a sense that we have to do everything we can to make sure that we don't allow any goals. And that means, especially, one last thing we'll talk about is shots coming in from distance. I do not want to see anybody taking a shot without being pressured, period. And I don't mean like a slow jog, whatever. You get up to them, you body them up, you don't turn your back, turn your neck, turn whatever, and hope that the ball gets you, because all that player is going to do is cut you and you're just going to go flying by. You come up, you get ready to go, you will make sure you cover all your angles, and everybody else behind you is going to make sure that we're trying to win this ball. If this center back steps up, slows this forward down, one of these mids better come double. We want to win this ball, and then when we win this ball, we're not trying to dribble out of pressure here. We're trying to find that easy pass, and then from there, we're able to attack and find the next pass that will then open up our attack. Okay, this is some more information on the defenders. I'm going to be posting some more stuff for the midfielders and forwards tomorrow. Weather permitting, we're going to go in and work on a lot of this stuff, tactical stuff on the field. And super important for everybody on this team, whether it's the forwards, midfielders, defenders, have to make sure your communication this weekend is very high, okay? And it's extremely important for us to make sure that we're there to support each other and we're positive with each other, okay? Don't get down on each other. This is a learning experience for us. We can't just sit here and think that we're just going to jump into this knowing everything. But we're going to try to prepare for it the best that we can, and we're going to try to work for each other and with each other to make sure that we succeed. All right, boys. I'll see you guys later.